Hello and welcome to Paranormal Verses with my wonderful co-host Michael Kopf and myself, Kell Ridley. And tonight we have got an amazing guest. We have got the man, the one and only Matt Barron. Hello, Matt.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Great. Yourself?
Doing well. Doing
That's
well.
great.
Glad you made it.
Me too.
Yeah. So what we usually do anyway is what we were saying before. I've got a list of questions that we can ask you so we can find out more about you. Obviously, I'm in the UK, so I've got a lot of my followers that watch later on. So obviously, they mightn't have heard about the guys from the States, so get to know everybody a little bit better. So just to let everybody know, if they can put any questions into the chat, we'd really appreciate it. And don't forget, let StreamYard know what your name is, give them permission so we can see who it is that's actually making comments, and we really do appreciate that. Michael?
All righty then. So, what got you started as the paranormal consultant?
Well, I'd say almost 3 years ago, my wife and I were a part of a team. Well, I was the founder of it. She was one of my investigators. And we just got tired of a lot of the drama that comes with it. And we just decided it was time to shut down. It was time to shut down the team. I wanted something more. I wanted to be able to work with people from all over. I wanted to do something that wasn't just, investigating, homes. And most of the team were after money. Their whole mentality was, what can we do to make money out of this? And that's not me. That's not what I wanted to do. So we decided to shut down. And we started talking about it. And I said, I wish I could do something to help everybody, to where I can network with people. I can do stuff. I can, use these years to help. And she said, what, like a consultant? And I went, a paranormal consultant. I was like, I like that. It has a nice ring to it. And there was a couple out there, but of consultants, but they weren't doing what I wanted to do. So I started doing how-to videos, just little YouTube videos on how to investigate. I went to a local cemetery, and I do not suggest going back to looking at those videos. They were terrible. I always tell people, don't go back. Don't look at it. Well, I met a friend, and now I consider him a brother. His name's Scott Morton. He runs Warren Area Society of Paranormal, or WASP, here in Pennsylvania. And he said, look, you have something here. You have something that you need to think higher. You need to think higher of yourself. You need to, get out more. And I said, well, what are you thinking? And he said, you need to do a podcast. So that's when the podcast started, and it just kept going from there. And my goal and my wife's goal has always been to help everybody in the field. It doesn't matter where you are, who you're from, how you investigate. It's just, we're here to consult.
That's so cool. So I've got a question. Out of all of the investigations you've done, which is the one that stands out like the best from the rest?
That's not fair. So I've been doing this for just over 17 years. I've done a lot of different investigations, and each one of them has their own special, place for me. Like I've been to Eastern State Penitentiary. I've been to the USS North Carolina, the Whaley House, Cosmopolitan Hotel. I've been to a bunch. Mm-hmm. The one that probably recently stands out, and I use this a lot, is the USS North Carolina. Just because I do have a military background. I was in the Navy, and being on a ship like that, it was kind of like a homecoming for me. And the spirits there were just a lot of fun to work with, very receptive. There was a lot of really good history, and I could feel a connection. So I guess outside of a lot of the home investigations, that's probably the one that recently that stands out.
Yeah. So have you been on the Queen Mary? Did I say right?
Yeah, we investigated. When I was running a team out in San Diego, we got the opportunity to investigate the Queen Mary, just because it's the Queen Mary. We've all seen them on the shows, and that was just, we had the opportunity to get on there. And honestly, it didn't, the spirits weren't as active as I thought it would be, but it was still a lot of fun. It was still a lot of fun to investigate, and just like with a lot of these places like Pennhurst, it's not the activity a lot of times that makes it special. It's just the location itself, the amount of history, and just the being in that location is enough for me.
I mean, that's one of the top places I'd like to go is the Queen Mary, because my granddad brought it from, he was one of the crew that came from England in the 1940s over to America. I think went to New York with it. So it just would be absolutely amazing to get on there to investigate, but having that sort of family connection sort of thing.
Oh, absolutely. And, again, it's just one of those locations that it's just like, holy crap, I'm here. And I think a lot of times, we see these, we get these bucket list locations that we see from TV, and we think it's going to be just like that. And we forget it's TV. They're after ratings.
Yeah.
But it's still nice. It's still a beautiful location.
Yeah. It looks it. Going back to obviously when you said that, obviously you used to do videos on how to. So what sort of things did you used to like? What sort of things are you not wanting people to watch on there?
Well, is the quality, and as you guys know, being in front of the camera, it really takes practice and getting used to doing this. Because believe it or not, I actually have stage fright.
Right.
And oh yes, I do. Believe it or not, and it takes time to get used to that. So when I first was starting out, I was just using basically my phone. I didn't have a really nice camera. I didn't have all the equipment, and I just wanted for people who are just starting out in the field to have a resource to go to that I didn't have. I didn't have that luxury. When I first started, I had a guy that who also named was Scott. I had him to kind of help me a little bit, but he was never into the field. He was more of promoting and networking. So I remembered starting out in the field and not having any help. So I wanted to do something for that. So it was just a lot of, paranormal 101, if you will. And again, the quality was absolute crap. So if you watch it, I'm sorry.
Well, I think me and Michael are going to have to go back and have a look at that now. Now that you said that,
I think we're going to do a show on that.
Oh, no. If you want viewers, no.
Bless. So, have you ever seen a full body apparition?
I've seen several. I think my favorite one. Yeah, I do like Michael's shirt. I love that shirt. I have to get it. I think my favorite one was, we were at the cemetery. It was called Alpine Cemetery in San Diego. Well, Alpine, California. And I didn't usually investigate with my investigators when we were out. I was more of a resource. I stayed on the outside to help them and, get equipment for them if they needed, or something to drink or whatever. And I'm standing there in the middle of the cemetery, overlooking the whole thing, just enjoying the scenery. And we heard a bunch of footsteps coming from our left. And we just so happened to look over, and we saw this individual, look like a soldier, just walking or marching or patrolling. And we're like, are we really seeing this right now? And it got behind one of these big shrubs and just disappeared. So we ran over there and to try to find it. There was no footsteps, no nothing. And we got a couple of pictures. Sadly, I don't have access to them anymore. But we caught a couple of pretty good pictures of this apparition. But that's probably the one that stood out.
Wow. That's amazing.
So I think I got a question that I doubt you've ever been asked. What's your
Uh-oh.
silliest moment on an investigation?
So, as I said on my shows, and actually I said during the GGH halftime show for the Global Ghost Hunt, I don't investigate normal, like what you typically go. Like, I don't just go in and go, "Who's here? What's your name? How many spirits here?" I ask some really random shit. Like I don't like. I'll ask anything, and I find the more fun you have, will give you better results and better evidence, and make the spirits more open to you. One of the funniest ones I had, it was myself. My team and I were investigating this car detail, kind of like, you guys remember Pimp My Ride a while
Right.
back? Well, there was a show that called us in because they were having some issues with the paranormal. Just stuff happening. Crew wouldn't go on. They wanted to do, it was around Halloween. They wanted to do a Halloween show. And they called my team and I in. They thought it'd be good. So, minus a bunch of weird stuff, just even being on set, the team wasn't experiencing anything. They were just kind of, it was kind of stale or dead, if you'll excuse the pun. And they wanted me to come in and just kind of liven things up. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I went in and I'm sitting in this office and I have, remember those old computer chairs with the round backs that spin around?
Right.
Yeah.
I sat backwards on it and had my arms like this. And we just got done with, getting something to eat before the investigation. And I don't know what, Kell, what they call it over there, but over here we call it bubble gut, where you just feel your stomach starting to bubble and boil. I started getting that, and I'm just like, what do I do? Do I hold it? What, how's this going to work? I'm like, I got to get out. I got to do something. I didn't get the opportunity to. Now, mind you, I had a microphone. I had a microphone that was on me. I had a camera guy that was with me. It came out, and it was loud. And I jumped up out of the chair, and I'm like, who heard that duck? I was like, there must be a ghost duck. And I started running around this whole back area looking for this duck. I look at my crew, my team, they're laughing. The camera guy that was watching me is shaking because he's laughing so hard, trying not to laugh himself. And then we hear over the radio, did we just hear a growl?
Blame it on the ghosts.
Yes, it was. Yep, it was a demon. So that's probably one of my funniest that I personally love.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was impressive. It was bad.
I can imagine.
Wow. Who would have ever thought the funniest moment would be an exorcist moment?
Oh, it was something. Something was evil, definitely.
An exorcist moment. What do you mean by that, Michael?
Oh, the movie where she vomits out.
I don't think he was on about vomiting. Was it?
No, it came out. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he said
out
it
of
came
eight.
out.
All
It
right.
came out.
I thought you were on about it came out the other way. Is somebody
reverse.
put in the comments?
It's a reverse exorcist.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite piece of equipment?
See, I love Kell. I have to give you props. I love this question because I know a lot of, and on my show, I've asked this too. And a lot of people say like an SB7, a recorder, or something. Me, it's myself, my body. And the reason why I say that is because we are our own equipment. We are the best piece of equipment, our bodies. We will naturally either feel something off that's off. We will get pulled to a certain spot during a location. We can actually feel the environment. You don't need an EMF meter to know that something's wrong. Obviously it all helps, but your body, if you do this enough, will become a finely tuned piece of equipment. And I just love going into these locations and just taking in the environment and just letting my mind just do its thing. And I was like, okay, so there's something over here that I feel like there's something in this area. And I'm not a medium or sensitive. I don't feel like I have any gifts. So I just let my body just do its thing. And then when something feels off, pull out the recorder, then I go to the actual piece of equipment. But for me, it's just me.
That's actually like a really interesting answer to a question. Never heard that one before, so it's quite good.
And we don't take batteries.
That's true. But
Sometimes.
so if that's your best piece of equipment, what's your worst?
Honestly, and I know some people are going to get really upset with me. I have two. There's two that I just do not like using. The apps, anything on the phone, I cannot stand them. And then Ovilus.
Right.
I hate those two pieces of equipment. And the reason why is because validation. They are probably the hardest to validate. And I just don't trust them. And to me, it's a matter of trust. You have to be able to trust your equipment just like you trust your investigators or whoever you're investigating with. And I'm sorry, but those two pieces I just can't trust.
Yeah. I've got to agree with you there. It's like I say, there's quite a few apps out there that a lot of people are using. That I keep seeing them, keep going. Don't think I would actually trust that. So
yeah, I'm the same way with apps, because especially the vocal ones, because they have built-in database, so you don't know what word they're actually saying. Something, it could be the app is programmed to say this word at this many intervals. And so, yeah. And I actually came across, I had a guest on my show who created an app, and it doesn't have a word bank, but it does give you words. And so that I'm looking into using that again, because I tried it and didn't try it. And so I'm going to see how that one works. And
well, I will say, and I got to give the guy credit, Howard Petrie. We all know him.
yeah.
yeah.
I'm now on the fence about the Necrophonics app because when we, Mackenzie, my wife, when we did the Global Ghost Hunt, just this, during this event, we did Voodoo Authentica in New Orleans, and Howard pulled out the Necrophonics app. And as soon as he did, I'm just kind of like, Howard, come on. But I have to admit, there were some answers and some things that were said that would be very hard to fake. I mean, they were some of the names and the words that were coming through. I wouldn't call them evidence, but when they start saying stuff that we can make a personal connection to, not like a cold read, not like saying, okay, there's a male spirit here, because it could be a spirit could be anybody, but they're giving specifics about things that nobody's talked about even prior to the investigation or then. Okay, that's building a little credibility, but I don't know.
That's the interesting one, so isn't it, when you get stuff like that coming up?
Yeah, it really does. But see, here again, and this is what I've said before, you've got to be open. In this field, you have to be open to everybody. And the paranormal to me is like a big jigsaw puzzle. And we are all pieces. It's going to take each and every one of us to figure out that question we all have. And it's not, is there life after death? It's what happens.
Yeah.
And I think we don't have a piece of equipment out today that that can give us 100% credibility of the paranormal. We all have our own experiences, of course, but there's still those naysayers. And I think that it's going to take each and every one of us our own way of investigating, and every piece of equipment we have available to bring a little credibility to this field.
Yeah. What's your views on the stone tape theory?
The which one?
The stone tape theory?
I don't know if I've heard that.
Really?
I
thought everybody had heard that.
See, here's the thing. I believe in a lot. Like I'm very open to every theory because again, the paranormal is not an exact science, so everything is theory at this point. So everybody's theory, like I don't say I study all the theories, but I just create my own. Right. I think about my own just from my experience.
Well, the stone tape theory is basically people are saying that certain kinds of stones can hold memories and can like replay events from the past. So you'd be seeing the spirit, but it's through the stones.
I mean, we use Mackenzie, the Wicked Queen, and I. There's Jonathan. What's up, brother? We use stones, and I know a lot of people do for different things, for protection, for invoking energy, and for a bunch of different things. So if we're able to utilize crystals and gems for that, I mean, I'm all for it. I believe that 100%. I mean, it's definitely a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And they also, I was reading a lot of the clay pots that they're discovering from the ancient days have harmonics built in. Like they can play, and there's messages or sounds that comes through, and they're just now starting to unlock that, yeah, certain materials have stuff in it that we never thought about.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing that holds my beliefs together, and it's in this field, in the paranormal field, anything is possible. Anything. So to me, I feel like if you're a good investigator, you have to be open to every possibility and expect the unexpected, because that's exactly what it is. It's paranormal. It's not normal.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't like being normal.
So do you think that ghosts have consciousness?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. 100%. Otherwise, the intelligent haunts. Where do they come from? How are they interacting with us? I mean, I've ran into like Thomas Whaley from the Whaley House in San Diego. I asked him, what's it like to die? And all I got back was cold. Cold. Okay, so bring a sweatshirt or a hoodie or something. Okay, got it. It's cold. Okay. I've asked spirits if they want to go out for drinks, and they're like, yes. Okay, well, what kind of drinks do you like? Tequila. Really? So yeah, absolutely. I think because our souls, our personalities, and what makes us us, it's basically electronic. It's an energy. It's an energy impulse that flows throughout our entire body. And if science is correct, energy cannot be destroyed. So that being said, these spirits that we are interacting with, obviously we're using EMF and we're using a lot of electronic devices, so they have to be some kind of electrical pulse. So if energy can't be destroyed, there we go. So I believe 100%. The only ones that I will say that is a maybe is residuals. Because obviously residuals, they don't interact with us. That I'm still on the fence about. But yeah, as far as intelligent hauntings, 100%. We keep our own personalities, which if that's true, a lot of people are screwed when I pass.
So I'm curious your opinion with the residuals, for example, because like you're saying, they don't interact with us. Do you feel that they are residual in the fact that they're like caught in a time loop? Or do you think it's a glimpse into like alternate world where somebody's going through their day and they just can't see us?
Again, to me, it runs into anything's possible. My personal belief on residuals is both. I think it's like a photo or a DVD. A DVD or some kind of movie, we can yell at the actors and actresses all we want. Is it real? Well, yeah, it's real. It was filmed. It was recorded. They just don't know we're here. They don't know we're watching, nor do they really care. That's what I think the residual is. It's just an imprint on that time. Something, and that, yeah. Love the name, by the way, Matt. Absolutely. I feel like it's just an imprint. It's an imprint on time of the area, of the location. Like Gettysburg. I live not too far from Gettysburg, and we've seen residuals come from there. So it could just be just the land.
Wow.
Have you ever been on an investigation and find yourself living in the moment and seeing what they were seeing and feeling what they were feeling?
I've had that happen a few times. One in actually Alpine. I mentioned that earlier. I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden I just became overwhelmed. I just started crying and feeling dread and emptiness. Come to find out, the headstone that I was sitting behind, or that was behind me, excuse me, a woman hung herself. She committed suicide. So we felt like I was channeling that because I'm usually upbeat. I'm usually pretty happy-go-lucky, especially investigating. I try to be kind of like fun and funny. I try to be, try to keep positive vibes going. But that literally just threw me for a loop. Like I just went from, 100 to negative 100 in a second. So that was a time I know on the USS North Carolina a few times. I could almost like listening to the stories. I could feel, them being scared because there was a torpedo that hit the USS North Carolina. They had a couple of people die, and I could feel it. But I also could feel the camaraderie. I could feel, just the environment, just taking it in. Pennhurst was the same way. At Pennhurst, a lot of people think it's a really active, really fun, and outgoing place. There were, big bad wolf is around the corner, but in actuality, it's not even close to that. These people were tortured. The patients there were tortured, and a lot of them were mentally ill. So to us, if someone's autistic, they're autistic, and we're very open to that and accepting of that. Then they were unwanted, and they were treated like absolute crap. So my whole my wife and I's whole mindset changed. So just feeling that, we change our investigation style. So yeah, I mean, I think it happens in every investigation. Every investigation we go on, you just pick up on that energy.
That's one to know. What's your view on Ouija boards?
So I have a couple of friends who use them. Me personally, I don't. I know how to. I know how to open them. I know how to close them. I know how to cleanse them. I know how to properly use them. I don't touch them. The reason being is because if you mess up, it's like taking your front door, ripping it off the hinges, and then breaking everything around it, the framework, and then going away on vacation. When you get back home, you have no idea who or what is in your home. So to me, there's no filter. There's no. I said the same thing, Brian. But but no, I mean, I respect them. I respect them, and I respect people who use them. But me personally, I won't use them.
Where would you like to investigate? Firstly, in the USA, if you could, or in the rest of the world after that?
Oh, so in the US, trying to think. Honestly, I can't pick out just one location. There's just so many amazing places that I've yet to investigate at. But I will say, anywhere that I have friends or family from the paranormal field, from either Parapost or Paralinks, and anybody who I work with, like if I can go where Michael's at, let's go. I'll go. If I can go, like I went with Howard and Jackie to Voodoo Authentica. I've met up with Jonathan Myers from Crossover Paranormal, Emmy McKenzie from PDX. Yeah, anywhere with any of my friends and family. For the US side. The UK side, I love you guys, I do, but I've got a list. Lep Castle is on top of it. I love Lep Castle.
Ireland.
I love Lep Castle. I love the history behind it. I love everything about it. It's a beautiful location. And then obviously the catacombs. I'd love to go to the catacombs. And I'd have to say the Hellfire Club. I love the idea of the Hellfire Club. You've got a church literally on top of hell, heaven and hell on top of one another. To me, the irony is like, I have to go.
Nicknames just saying Tower of London and Chillingham Castle. Yeah, they're good ones as well. Yeah. It's the Hellfire Caves. I think they're in Bedfordshire. Is that right? Nickname?
I think
if
so.
I'm right. Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
I know. It sounds bad, but I know Ghost Hunters went there, and when I started learning about that, it was like, I'm hooked. I have to go there. I have to go.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got some pretty amazing places as well over here. Like I say, Chillingham Castle, that's not far away from me, so I've been there a few times. That's pretty scary down there. But the Tower of London, that's any paranormal investigator's dream over here, but we're not allowed to get in there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised, Matt. I thought Romania would be on your list.
You know,
tourist.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with the UK, and I'll even throw Europe into this one, is here in the States, our history only goes back so far. I mean, yeah, there's the Native Americans and stuff, before recorded history, absolutely. But you guys go back centuries. And honestly, to pick one or two would be unfair. You know what I mean? But I mean, I'm honestly jealous. You guys always say that you're jealous of, us over here in the States.
Yep.
I'm jealous of you guys because you guys have a lot more history to investigate.
Yeah. Well, saying that, like, all the countries are exactly the same age. Technically, I mean, they weren't discovered at the same time or populated. But yeah, I get what you mean. We do have a lot of castles, and we do have like a thing that Michael keeps going mad at us about called Hadrian's Wall. I shouldn't have said that. I'm going to get it again now. But
I didn't say a word.
I know. Not yet. But yeah, we've got some pretty amazing places. But like I say, like over there, it's just like you guys, you've got just so much over there. You know what I mean? It's like we're just like a tiny, tiny little place, and yous are just like absolutely huge. So I think that's why it's like a lot of people's like dream to go for America to investigate. So
it works both ways. I mean, like Mackenzie and I have always wanted to go to New Orleans, and we were blessed enough to have that opportunity, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Seeing the history, and seeing, we hear about like people like Marie Laveau, and to be at that location and seeing everything and hearing about it, it's awesome. It really is awesome. But again, for me personally, you guys have the more history. You guys have, we have a couple hundred years. You guys have thousands of years worth. You know what I mean? So it's like, we can dig a lot deeper over in Europe and in the UK.
Yeah. I'm actually getting married in July in the castle that we've booked for the wedding. It's got a lot of history. It's Sudley Castle, and it's where Henry VIII's last wife, the sixth wife, where she lived and died. Wow. And it's like had loads of kings and queens that lived there, especially like Elizabeth I. She lived there when she was like younger. So it's and apparently it's really, really haunted as well. So I think like I'll be sneaking in, like obviously me K2 meet there and everything. Probably do a live from there at some point. So
first of all, Kell, congratulations.
Thank you.
And secondly, I'm jealous. I'd have a recorder in my pocket and like EMF in like my vest or whatever, and just you know what I mean?
Like, oh yeah, I do.
Does anybody have any issue, or if there's any reason why these two should not be married, K2 goes off? Ignore him.
You probably get it like a EVP or something like that later on. Listen back to it.
Go off.
You just hear the beeping. It's like, no, it's only a 2. Don't mind that. No, it's all right.
No, that's not the REM pod going off.
Is that a REM pod in your pocket?
Well, I think Michael was talking about doing a live stream from there anyway, weren't you, Michael?
Because here's the funny thing, Matt. It's on my show night. It's on a Tuesday night. So it's like, if I go, do I air my show and make it Kell's wedding episode?
As a consultant, I approve of that.
We may as well just get married on a live then, Michael. Thanks.
Might as well just listen for EVPs. See if you can hear something.
There you go.
Yeah.
See how many congratulations you get.
Oh, see how many don't do it. Well, for him, not for me. I mean, they'll be warning him off me, not the other way around. I think I've just seen a question anyway up in the chat. Sorry, Michael.
Before we get to that, I have another question, Matt, that I'm curious your answer to, because I'm confident you haven't been asked this probably as frequently. Of your shows of being paranormal consultant, the ones where you sit and look at the TikTok videos and go real or not real, and all your appearances, what's your favorite show that you look forward to doing the most?
Is Brian still in the room?
Nope, he left.
Nope, he's gone. He came and left.
He left to read his script. It's his one.
You know, it's funny, and I'm going to avoid that, but still answer it. So, to be honest with you, I don't really get asked on a lot of shows. I really don't. I really don't get asked to be on a lot of shows as a guest. I mean, obviously, I do my show just pretty much whenever anymore. Even Creepy Cult, my wife's show, her and Emmy McKenzie just do their own thing, and it's like, okay, but I really don't get asked to be a guest, which is fine. I'm not out to make myself popular or anything. I just like networking with people. So to me, any show I get an opportunity to speak with people, to hang out with people, to me that is what makes it worth it.
Yeah, that's true.
Aww.
Yeah, Brian is still in the room, by the way.
That's why I didn't answer it.
So for all of you hosts out there listening, what Matt is secretly saying is flood his email with invites onto shows.
Yeah.
Not if you want to have an audience.
So Matt's asking, and this is a good question, what are your views on orbs? Are they legitimate, or are they dust or bugs?
So I am one of those to where I'm not a fan of orbs. And I'm talking true orbs here. I'm not just talking, whatever. To me, an orb is not a sign of the paranormal unless there's something else with it. Much love to you, Suzette. Same. To me, to consider it paranormal or an entity, you have to have something else with it. If you get footsteps with it, like if you see an orb coming up a hallway and you catch an EVP of footsteps and it's getting closer, okay, that's a spirit. If you get a voice with it, or if you can tell it has its own intelligence, you know what I mean, and it's an actual orb, that to me, okay, I'll give some credibility to. But if you've got a room that has a lot of dust in it, and you catch an anomalous, like you see everything going one direction and you see one coming up the other way, maybe, but to me, it's more than likely bug, dust, water vapor, something. There has to be something with it. If there's nothing else caught, sorry, I'm just going to sit there and say it's a bug, it's dust, it's whatever. And I'm sorry, but these people that say they see faces, especially smiley faces, come on, that's matrixing. Your mind's trying to create some kind of controlling chaos. It's just like looking at a cloud and seeing a rabbit in the clouds. Is there a huge ass rabbit up there? No, it's not a rabbit.
Pareidolia.
It can be explained. So I respect people, but if you send me a picture of an orb and say it's paranormal, no, sorry.
Yeah.
I actually have one that I can challenge you on that, Matt, and get your opinion on. I was recently on a show doing live, and the gentleman had a black background similar to yours, not as many colors. And in the middle, like say under where you have FearFest Paracon, halfway between the green and the word, a white dot appears and then starts going diagonally down and then off to the left. We were like, that's an orb. That can't be a bug because it didn't come into frame. It was already in frame when it showed up. And dust, how is it by itself?
See, I'm not saying that orbs don't happen. I'm not. I'm really not. Like, if it's a circumstance that can be proven, cool. But I get a lot of people with pictures saying, "Oh, my grandmother's in this."
Yeah.
Or I just caught a spirit that's smiling at me. No, especially you can see the wings. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I'd say probably 90%, if not 95, anywhere between there, percent of these orbs can be debunked.
Yeah.
You know, and to call it a spirit or something paranormal, yeah, it's a hard sell for me, because there has to be something else with it. There has to be. Otherwise, because think about it, the definition of an orb is, you know, a circular ball of light that has its own, emits its own light, has its own flight path. So to me, that's ball lightning. That's ball lightning. So if that's the case, and every, you know, piece of heat lightning, that's an orb. It's just on a bigger scale. You know, it could just be a buildup of static electricity. We don't know. It could just be a piece of, you know, static electricity bouncing between the vapors in the air. Again, we don't know. It could be scientific, but to say it's, you know, Aunt Sally, you know, hanging out with you, I need more with that. I need more.
I made a TikTok a while ago. I was doing an investigation of a pub that had been renovated, so there was just dust everywhere. So obviously, when you've got your camera out and the light off the camera hits it, and it's just like, obviously there was just like what people were calling orbs, even though it was dust all over. So I decided to do a TikTok to tell people that these ones are definitely nothing to do with orbs; they're just dust. And then I had one woman comment on it saying, "Oh my God, have you seen all them orbs?" Like, did you not actually just watch the video?
And you know,
just
you know
kind of
what's
tell
funny?
some people.
You know what's funny is these these lenses, they're curved. They're not, you know, a flat lens. So you've got to think too of distance. It's a matter of perspective. You know, or like, for example, look at my fingers. Are they the same distance or are they different? You don't know. On the camera, it's hard to tell. When in actuality, they're separate. You know, it's hard to judge distance. So what looks like a big orb just may be really close. You know, it's just, to me, again, it's just a hard sell.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, big love to you, Liz. And you know what? I got to say something about Liz. I posted about 200 pictures from my vacation in New Orleans. Liz went through and liked every single one of them. I love her to death. I looked at my phone.
That's dedication.
And I had like 90 notifications from Facebook. I'm like, what? And I open it up and it's all Liz liking the pictures. And I'm like, God love her. I love Liz.
I love Liz. Liz is really cool. She's one of those, she likes to come in on the shows and support everyone. And so we appreciate Liz and all the others that do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The
definitely.
unsung supporters of the paranormal.
Yeah, it's what keeps it going. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
So I think I've
Ooh.
We love you, Liz.
Matt's got another question there. Says, have you ever been touched or pinched by a spirit?
I have been pushed, scratched, bitten. I've had my name yelled. I've been choked. Almost anything I've had it done, and it's honestly, it's different. I'm not one of those. If I get, like, the night I got bitten, it was funny. I had a hoodie on where it has the front pocket, and I got bitten like right here in my forearm, and I had the perfect bite mark too. And I just went, "You son of a bit, do it again." And I'm sitting here looking at both arms, like, "Come on, do it." I was investigating for a, I don't want to call it a TV show, but somebody I used to work with, they had their own channel on Paraflex. So we were filming an episode for them. And it was in Annapolis, Maryland. Now, back in the olden days, they were a little racist.
Oh, yeah.
The camera guy was an African-American guy. Loved him to death. He was a great investigator. And we started getting the inkling that the spirits were not happy that he was there. So I stood up for him and I said, "Look, I don't care whether you like it or not. He's here with us. I respect him. He's one of my friends. He's not going anywhere. I don't care what you say." And I felt myself getting choked. So I told him, I said, "Hey," I said, "do me a favor." I said, "Bring the camera over and look at my neck." And he comes over and I went like this. I always use my pinkies and I show what I'm doing before I touch whatever area had been choked or, whatever. And I went like this and I pulled down and you could see a perfect handprint around my throat. And he said, dude, they're trying to choke you. And I was like, okay, cool. You're choking me. Keep going. Go harder. I like it. Keep going. I was like, it's not even hard enough for me to enjoy.
Welcome to the wild side of Matt.
See, that's the thing. I'm not a fan of provocation, like the negative provocation,
Right.
but I will call them out. I'll be like, you know what? No, you're not doing it good enough. Come on, let's go. Get it going. Because if I get like pinned up against the wall or lifted up in the air or on a ceiling fan spinning around, don't help me. Record it. That's good evidence.
You do realize this is meant to be a show about the paranormal, not like about your kinkiness.
I'm not normal, so.
Yeah, I was like, do you realize what guest we have on? That went out the window when we started. Especially with him swinging around on the fans and being like, record me, damn it.
Yeah. I've told my investigators that if something happens to me where I get attacked like that, unless it's a medical emergency, record it. I was like, don't worry about me. I was like, I'll come out of it eventually. I'll be fine. It's like, the better evidence we can get, I start, bleeding and stuff. Go for it. Keep recording. I'll be all right.
That's hilarious.
I can't wait till like you get the succubus or something and you like start aging and be like, no, I don't care that I'm starting to look 80 and I'm 20. Keep recording.
Mm-hmm. No, I would 100%. Let's go. Better evidence.
Oh, hang on. Matt's just. Oh yeah, Matt's just. I've had me bum pinched by a frisky spirit before, so yeah. He's bringing that up.
You and my wife share that.
I don't know why. I mean, it doesn't seem to happen that often to you guys. Why is it always us women that get it done?
Because guys will smack each other in the butt. We don't pinch each other's butts.
Well, have you met Howard in person?
Actually, I have. And, yeah. That or Scotty.
I was just going to say, well, Scotty, you just got to watch your legs. But no, actually, my wife had that happen on the USS North Carolina. So, Kell, you're not alone. And obviously, the spirits thought my wife was attractive and was trying to pick her up. And I said, you know what? I said, here's the difference between you and me. I'm going home with her. You're staying here. And they're like, Matt, stop it. And I'm like, no, they're dead. I'm alive. What are they going to do?
Yeah, what would you have done though if he followed you home?
I've cleansed before. I've cleansed before. Try it.
No, I could see Matt. He'd be filming it going, this will be great for Paraflix and a whole bunch of shows.
Brian, look at this.
Its way, and then be like, okay, now, how can we edit this to be airable?
I have it in 18 plus morning on my show. So
yeah,
you've been warned.
That video will be on his fans only page.
Mm-hmm. I don't have one, so I'll put it on Scotty's.
Has Scotty got one? Has he?
He keeps saying
I'm sure he does.
Oh gosh.
You missed it though, Matt. Talking about Scotty. You know the Wraith Hunters, right? You've heard of them.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony went up and got Scotty. He was sitting down at Fear Fest, and he came running up to him and did it to him. And Scotty was like, "Kudos to you, man."
Well, did you hear that Scotty almost had TSA on him? Did you hear about that story?
No, but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So Emmy McKenzie from PDX Paranormal, I guess, flew in, and Howard and then went to go pick her up from the airport. Scotty was hidden and was hiding it, which is easy for him to do.
Yeah.
And she said, so where's Scotty? And Howard gave some BS excuse saying, oh, his flight was delayed or blah, 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 blah. And she goes, oh, okay. And she was so tired, she believed it. And as soon as she went to walk away, Scotty ran out of nowhere and just grabbed her leg. And she screamed so loud, the entire terminal fell silent. Howard's laughing. TSA are coming over, and they're just like, no, we got it. It's good. Just let him finish.
Just let him finish. That's hilarious. Yeah, Scotty's a little paranormal Would you say nymph of the field? Or
We're still awaiting results from the tests. I
Bless
love
him.
Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty's awesome. So Matt's got another question for you, and he's asking, have you ever been truly scared during an investigation?
That is actually a really good question, Matt. There's been times where I've been kind of, I don't want to say set back, but hesitant to walk into a location. But I do know it's for the good, especially home investigations, where I'm trying to help these people. I'm trying to help the spirits. And there's very few places that I'll actually wander into. Even, I know, don't hurt me, by myself. I will go in by myself just to test the waters to see if it's even safe. The only time where I was actually scared and I backed down was now, mind you, again, almost over 17 years, over 400 investigations, client investigations. It was only 3 times to where I was like, and they were 3 true. Well, 2 of them definitely were demonic, like actual demonic. One was a maybe. It didn't fit all the criteria of a demonic, but it was still very negative. But yeah, those are the only 2 that I was like, no, I got to back away. And that was just for safety, for the family, for myself, and for my investigators, because safety to me is paramount. That's first.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go in there and start stirring stuff up and start doing stuff that may cause harm. So I had to turn those 2 investigations over to the church.
Wow.
So.
All right. And Matt has another question of, do you think you had a spiritual attachment? And if so, how did you get rid of it?
So I try not to let that happen. Whenever I investigate, I tell the spirits, look, while I'm here, please take full advantage of that. Talk to me. I'll try to help you out as best as I can. And I come up and I just talk to them. I treat them just like I would anybody else. When I leave, I have my own way of cleansing myself. I say some prayers for myself and for the spirits there. I thank them for interacting with me. And I say, please just stay here. Obviously, there are some that don't want to listen. But there was only one that I know for sure followed me home. And that was a little kid that I ran into. So in San Diego, there is a park called Mission Hills Park. It used to be a huge cemetery that the city bulldozed, and bodies are still there. And oddly enough, right next to a school. And it's a really sad history, really sad story. And we caught a lot there. That's actually where I saw some of my first experiences. And the one night we were doing a session, and we ran into this child who was looking for his or her parents. And I was really saddened by this, and they just kept saying they were alone. They just hated being alone, which I didn't understand because there are so many other spirits there. But this one was just by itself. This kid just felt so alone. So I said, you know what? I don't do this, but you are welcome to come home with me. You will not be alone. And I knew if I was gonna help this spirit out, it was gonna take some time, and it wasn't gonna be a one night thing. So the spirit did follow me to the house. We did talk, and I, got more comfortable with each other, and I helped the spirit cross over. And the last thing it said before it crossed over was, "There's my mommy."
Oh.
And then I caught nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
There was just nothing else. No EVPs. Everything just went silent. And I'm just like,
wow.
The spirit is where he or she needed to be.
But were you not worried when you invited it to come back with you? Because there's some demonic, people say demonic and demons and stuff like that can pose as children. I
did know that was a risk.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, at that point didn't really care. The risk was the positive outweighed it. The risk was worth it. Yeah. And I knew that if if it was demonic, it was going to follow me anyway. So no matter what I said, if it was going to attach itself, it was going to attach itself. And I wanted to make sure that if it was a child spirit, which it was, I wanted that spirit to have closure. I wanted that spirit to be with with his or her family. Yeah. And, even to this day, I have never second guessed my decision on that one, regardless.
Another question from Matt. He says, do you think that reading Bible quotes can help with demonic spirits? Does he ever take the Bible with him on investigations?
So, Matt, number one.
He takes a pocket size.
And hold on, you'll love this. I don't know. Not a lot of people know this about me. I'm actually an ordained minister.
Card.
Wow.
This is my clergy badge. And
I actually have a reference license too.
I actually have my certification right here. The paranormal field actually has helped me come closer in my religion. Mm-hmm. And the one thing I've noticed is a lot of religions, and I'm not trying to start a holy war here, but a lot of religions teach the same thing. The Bible, to me, was created by man. Man was created to be flawed. So to me, the Bible is a very good user's manual. It's a great guide. But as all religions teach, religion itself is a personal journey. So to me, that's an open interpretation on how religion plays a role in everybody's lives. For me, it's a comfort to have. So yes, it does have power over these evil and these, I won't even say demonic all the time, but like the negative.
Yeah.
Because it's your personal belief. Just like my wife's Wicca, she has her way of dealing with negative energies. Yeah. Someone who has a Quran, they have their own way to deal with negative. Buddhas, they have their own way. We all have our own way of dealing with negativity. And to me, it's up to you. It's up to you how you feel in your personal belief system, how you're going to deal with this. And if you fully believe it, it will help.
Yeah. That's really cool. Anyway, I've just been aware of the time. We can't stay over tonight because Michael's got a prior engagement. So I just want to know where would, if Michael hasn't got any other questions, that is, where would people be able to find you?
I got two questions actually for you.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
First question is, if you could make an object a paranormal tool, which would it be? Rubber ducky or an action figure?
Follow-up question. Does a rubber ducky squeak?
That's up to you. It's your tool.
If it squeaks, absolutely. Yeah, the rubber ducky, 100%. 100%.
All right, and the second one is pre-investigation snack: pizza or nachos?
Depends on where the pizza's from. Because any big boy, we know every pizza is not created equal. So I probably have to go with pizza. Nachos are good, but they're hard to eat prior to an investigation because they keep, they get stuck, and then you got all that stuff everywhere, and you can't drive with them. It's kind of difficult. Pizza, you just fold up and just go to town on it. You know what I mean? It's easy. So definitely pizza.
Cool.
Awesome. So thank you for that. And yeah, I did that to Brian, and so I thought it'd be funny to do it to you. Throw out questions that you've never been asked.
Hey, I enjoy it.
I love them. When he comes up with them.
So where can people find you, Matt?
So I'm a little bit of everywhere. You can find Paranormal Consultant on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. You can find me on Parapost, Network Central. You can find me on Paralinks, Global Ghost Hunt even. You can find me there. I'm a part of the admin team, and I actually am the co-host of GGH Live. It's just our live show for the Global Ghost Hunt. But yeah, pretty much anywhere. And I apparently have an Instagram and a Twitter that I don't even know about. So apparently on there too. I don't know. Seriously, I just Wow.
So,
That's
folks,
funny.
as he's just said, you can find him anywhere. Anyway, I want to thank you for being my guest tonight, and it's just a shame that we didn't have a little bit longer because I think we would have had quite a few more questions to ask you. But like I say, Michael's got a prior engagement, and
That's right.
I'm blaming Michael, so I don't
That's
care.
okay. Well, thank you both for inviting me on. It was an
problem.
absolute pleasure. Sorry I couldn't come a little earlier, but
It's okay.
It worked out.
So just want to thank everybody who threw in comments. And by the way, just want to say all my questions that I asked you tonight, Matt, that was by Matt. That was in the comments. He wrote them all out for us.
Awesome. They were good questions, Matt. Really good questions.
Yeah.
Appreciate
And
it.
he came up with the rest. So yeah, I just had to thank him there. Bless him. But yeah, thank you to Michael as well. Another great show, Michael.
Yes, it was a fun one.
Yeah.
I'll have to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Have to get you guys on mine too.
Yeah, definitely. Just give me a shout. So yeah, right. So everybody, that was we show with Matt Barron. So who we got on next, Michael?
Next we have Mark Sargent, and then it's Lala Bright, and then it's Barry Fitzgerald.
Cool.
And
Good
ending
lineup.
the month with Ane Shin.
Ooh,
Yay. She's amazing.
that's a good one.
So stay tuned to our page, and we'll be posting when those shows are up and ready.
Cool.
Awesome.
So right, I'm going to say goodbye now to everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Yep. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's on me. Woo! What a moment.
It's not like we're live or anything.
Yeah.
Somebody shoot me.
All right, here we go. Thank you for joining us at Paranormal Versus. Hope to see you on our next episode.